Hi everyone, welcome to Golden Papery. This is my 2026 cash binder setup, and I did purchase this from Christina Loves Planning. It's a fully loaded cash binder system that she has on her website, but this is the one that I had last year. So I purchased this also when she was having some Black Friday deals, some end of the year deals, and right now I'm just going to use this as like my storage. I'm going to put in any cash envelopes that I'm not using and also any monthly savings challenges that I'm not going to have in my personal binder throughout the year. But this is a beautiful black quilted type personal cash binder, and I'm going to be using this primarily for any cash envelopes that I would like to hold on, any savings challenges, and also my sinking funds. So if you have not checked out her website, it is amazing. She has so many tools, so many deals with the cash envelopes, the savings challenges, and even if you don't want to invest in this fully loaded binder, she has so many products that you can already just purchase and just add into your own personal binder. But it comes with an acrylic dashboard. She sets this up for you, different dashboards to give you some motivation throughout the year, a 2026 monthly dashboard, and then it goes straight into the cash envelopes. So in the white binder that I showed you in the beginning, I actually took away some of the cash envelopes that were on this binder because I'm not going to be using them, and I'll get into that later. But what I love about this is that it has different bookmarks. It's so easy to just review like where are your cash envelopes, where are your tracking systems, and she also included a sinking funds bookmark and then this holiday bookmark in case if you want to save for any New Year's, Christmas, Valentine's. I know we all have different holidays that we like to save up for, and so that will be available on the planner when you get the fully set up. But this has the main cash envelopes, groceries, households. I'm going through my binder here. Let's see. Going out to eat, which is something that I try to save up for, any beauty cash envelopes, gas, and miscellaneous. And so some of the ones that I did take out were just not going to be useful for me because I like to track all of that stuff online. For example, the mortgage, that gets taken out of my account, and I have a different type of financial system that I use for just my day-to-day budgeting as our family reviews our finances. But this is going to be great because there are a lot of times that I would prefer to just get that cash out so that I don't spend it on any other items. Or in my case, my husband thinks that the money is available, and sometimes he'll just make a purchase without realizing that that was going to be used for like groceries or any other projects that we have. But I also got this in my order with Christina Loves Planning. This is not part of the cash binder setup that she has on it, but you can purchase these on her website, and she actually had a great deal on them, so that's the reason why I purchased them. They were, I believe, like 30% off or half off, so it's a great deal, and they're so pretty. It's kind of like a, not acrylic, but like plastic material, so you can actually use some sort of marker, dry erase marker, if you don't want to physically write on them or put a sticker on them. But this is my January cash envelope or savings challenge. This is going to be my January savings challenges, and then I also included the February divider in this binder already. So in case if I finish the January challenge, then I'll just go straight into February. And how I'm going to use this is basically try to save up for just random items. And I say random items, but it's primarily going to be like any Sam's Club, supplies that I have to go get, any Christmas gifts or birthdays that come along throughout the year. This is why I love that I decided to use this year, because all of my major purchases or expenses are on my bank account. But this will be used for when we go out, when we have to make smaller purchases like household supplies, and it's just going to be great. But I also purchased some other savings challenges, and I will mention that the bulk of the savings challenges, I got them on a end of year deal when I got the white binder. And then this is the one that I did purchase this time around because she also had some other like codes, discounts on her website. And so I decided to get this one. But I won't be using those savings challenges yet. If you haven't noticed on my channel, I like to stock up, especially when there are deals. I think it's the best way to try to save money and also be conscious about, what other items you already have in your portfolio. So this is also another cute savings challenge that she has on her website, which are new. It's kind of like a divider, a top divider that you can put on any envelopes or maybe even in your own like A5 or personal planner if you don't want to track in your cash binder setup. But like I said, this is not new for me. I have used this type of system before. Last year, I didn't get to do more with it, especially with my planning, especially with my cash savings that I had wanted to do because of all the different medical appointments that we had throughout the year, and I just had to put my focus towards the family. But that did not mean that our finances struggled or anything was not into the system that we already have. It was already on my online budget. And I may go back and share with you all what is the template that I use for my financial budgeting that I do with our family. And it's just me and my husband reviewing that on a weekly basis, but it's pretty neat. So the rest of this binder has different uh, templates. So she did add an acrylic bookmark. She also added a grocery list, a template of tasks, and then also meal planning and a daily schedule like for financials. And so that was not something that I was going to keep. I may just keep a couple of these templates and then add in the ones that I already have, which is what I'll be doing for the rest of this video once I finish the flip through. But this is something that can be useful, like I said, if it's something that you're going to be adding into your personal purse, maybe your go-to everyday bag, and you just put this binder in, especially when you are going to head over to the bank. So one note that I will make here is that we live in a very rural place, and so having access to the more common stores like your phone store or maybe like even Walmart or HEB, it's kind of a struggle for us. So that is the reason why I would prefer to just have everything in one location. And when I head over to another city, a bigger city than where we're at, I can just make those purchases all in one weekend or all in one go. So that's something to keep in mind too, especially if you are thinking about keeping some of the other cash envelopes in your binder, such as, your mortgage payments, subscriptions, and any other important items for you. But this is super pretty. I'm very pleased with the material of this binder, the setup that it was, designed. These are also, she included this one envelope that's amazing. It's a plastic type of envelope that I'm going to keep my 26-week challenge in here. But obviously, you should probably not hold so much money in your binder, especially if you're going to be taking it on the go. So I would just recommend that if you are trying to do a cash binder setup like this, you add in just the envelopes that you need, or you keep them at home. But in my case, I will probably continue to modify this so that I'm not holding on to this cash binder on a daily basis. But I will probably, as I mentioned, take it for a weekend if we're going to a bigger town. So that's basically it. This is pretty thick, as I mentioned. The acrylic dashboard and the bookmark do take up a lot of space, especially if you have the ring size, they're a little bit smaller, but I think it's still beautiful. You don't have to keep it in there. I know that some people prefer to have things a little bit more organized, so definitely use your dividers as they come. And then here is the last year cash savings challenges binder that I got. And this was a big order that I did when she was having a sale. But these first couple of cash envelopes were part of the fully loaded binder. So that will actually be included in your cash binder if you decide to go that route. I just didn't add them in mine because all of that stuff is online. I don't keep track of these things, with the cash system. And if you wanted to, you don't have to put cash in them. You can still track those different expenses and then just, review your online statement when you're making those analysis. But the monthly savings challenges, since I didn't do them yet last year, I am going to try to push myself to do them this year now that life is a little bit more calm. We finally have a routine. My son is in daycare, and so I feel that I can probably get this into completion. Now, as I mentioned, I purchased several things from her last year, and so this was another one that I got, and the cash envelopes are the same. So when I purchased a different binder, this was going to be my wallet, and I did use this on a daily basis. So I kept very minimal cash in here, just what I needed, and then kept this in my go-to bag. But this was also a beautiful option if you prefer the zip, which I feel could be better if you like to keep everything contained. But other than that, it is something that I feel can be beneficial to you if you struggle to maintain your expenses online. Okay, so what I'm going to do here next is go through the different templates that was added into the cash binder setup, and I'm going to just replace some of these templates with what I already had available. So if you have seen some of my older videos for a while, I did use a Filofax personal planner, and it was the best. If you use the A5 planner size, it's great for something if you are working on a desk or if you go to an office. It's great to just have on a physical platform instead of a purse or a bag because it's quite thick, it's quite big, and it's bulky. So the personal size is great to just keep handy and just have very minimal things in it, just your important items that you really need. So I'm just grabbing my different templates that I already had. I print my own dashboards, my own planner templates that I get from Etsy. And so I just cut it to the personal size and then I just hole punch it. So if you are interested in doing that, I highly recommend it. You can save lots of money. But this is my bookmark that my daughter made me, and it says Mom I'm pretty sure she made this about 2.5 years ago, and I still have it and I'm going to use it. So we're gonna add that. And then I have some other schedule templates by Plan with B, who is also great at making these personal planner templates. And I love the way that she scribbles on her planner. It's just so simple. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's not like my A5 planner where you need to be a little bit more thoughtful about what you want to include, add more details. This is just on the go planning. So I like her templates. And then I'm also adding some other dashboards that I already had, and these are laminated. So usually what I do with my planner size, sorry, personal planner size, I print it out, cut it, and then I will laminate it and then hole punch it. So that's something that I'm going to do. And then I just have all of these different planner templates by Poi and Hun. There are some that I have from Cloth and Paper. I'm just going to add them in to this planner. And so there aren't other things that I'm going to keep in here. I may take away the finance or the financial ones that she added because I'm not going to be keeping track the paycheck by paycheck template. So those I will remove, but the rest of these things will work. The tasks I will also exchange for the one that I already have from Poi and Hun. And then the grocery list I will keep on here in case if I go to the grocery store and I can just use my cash envelope, check my list, check it off, and let's go. So this is going to be something new for this year because I have not used a personal size in a while, and my go-to bag right now is full of diapers, essentials. Because of my son's condition, I have medicine, I have a whole bunch of supplies in there in case if something were to happen. And so it's packed. I may actually have to look for a different bag to kind of fit everything, but we will make it work. So if you are going to be using a cash binder setup or system, what are you using? What supplies will you be using? I am very curious to see how others set up their cash binder for this year. I know many of us are not using cash anymore, especially with, the removal of the penny and different, store policies. So let me know in the comments because I truly want to know what you guys are using. And if you have been a user of a cash system in the past, let us know some tips and tricks so that we can all stay on track for this year. But thanks for watching. Bye.